Airstrike is a really easy stunt to do. You can either catch the enemy while jumping with regular shocks, or climb up, hop down with precision, and get the stunt that way. This is one of those stunts that you might unlock by accident, but if you're having a tough time with it, an easy way to do it is to shockwave the enemy against a building or wall, and then aim the reticle a bit lower and immediately start throwing grenades so that they get caught as they're coming down. See here, I shockwave them up, aim down, and just start chucking away. This is probably the easiest stunt in the game. You just shockwave them up and shoot them. You may even get flying headshots while you're going for this. Now for this one, you want to kill 5 enemies at once. You can get this with the shockwave, believe it or not, but it's easiest with the grenades. Mainly just group 5 people together, chuck 1 grenade and get them. As you see, this is the easiest place to get it. This is outside the prison. There'll be a couple of spots where these enemies spawn. You basically, like I said, just get 5 together and chuck 1 grenade. Very easy stuff. This is one of those stunts you'll probably just unlock during gameplay. You're mainly trying to crush someone with either a car, dumpster, or anything else in the game. You may even get it by accident while you're going for another stunt. It's a very easy stunt. Just blow something up by an enemy. That's it. You'll probably get it by accident. Believe it or not, this one's not that hard to get. If you can't get it this way, just go right into precision and it will make the headshot a lot easier. You can unlock this stunt by attacking someone on a corner or the edge of a building. If you don't, and you use this method, what you want to do is weaken them first, as you see here, so that when you hit them on the way down, they die in 1 hit. This is a stunt that a lot of people have trouble with, and it's not necessarily because it's a hard stunt. It's just that you have a hard time finding 3 enemies together that you can knock off of 1 building at the same time. This is after the game. This is why I was showing you the spot on the map. So if you've completed the game and you're still looking for an area, you can check this spot, or you can go to Fusion ZX's video. He's also found a spot after the game where 3 enemies pop up together. It's really, and then at that point, it's really just about getting the 3 of them together, grouping them together, so you can knock them all off with 1 shot with the blast. As you see here, it takes a bit of time, but eventually you'll get around to it. This is a very easy stunt. You'll probably get it during the course of the game. Shockwave someone off of a building. It even works if they get blown off by one of your grenades. Very easy stunt. This stunt's actually a pretty easy stunt to get too. I used to do it this way. But I've also found that you can shockwave people down, tag them with grenade, and then shoot them as they're getting up. It's a lot easier to do it that way because you can kind of do it at your own pace as opposed to chasing them around. This one's not too hard, just hit a guy 5 times, the last hit will kill him, and you'll get the stunt. I'll show you in a second here. If you miss the first hit, it doesn't matter, just keep going. You can land another 5-hit combo anyway. This is one of those stunts that you'll probably unlock during gameplay, but if you haven't, if you missed the opportunities earlier, you go to this spot on the map. And this is after the game is complete too, so they'll still be there. Those enemies will be running up and down the spot. If you have to do it this way, it may take you a little while. I'll show you in a second. You're going to need enemies to blow up, so you want to come to this area of the map. There's always enemies that spawn. Now I'm going to go ahead and fast forward. And what you may not have seen during that was that I weakened these enemies a little bit, just to be sure. Basically, you're waiting for this guy to get near him, blow him up. This is a pretty easy stunt. You just go into precision while you're rail grinding. You don't get that ability until a little later in the game, the rail grinding ability. But once you do, it's a very easy stuff to get. And this is after the game. Basically just went to areas where there were rails, and if there weren't enemies in the area but close by, I would lure them. You know, this stunt frustrates a lot of people because if you don't get it during the course of the game, it's one of the last stunts you need. Sometimes when you go for it, things don't go the way you want it to go. So the best advice I can give you is to weaken the enemy first. You don't see me do it here, but I did shock this guy. He's going to catch the right back at you a few times. Weaken them so that when you actually do throw the grenade back to them, they definitely get killed by it. Otherwise, you gotta wait even longer. It can take quite a while for them to chuck a grenade out there. There are a couple different ways to do this stunt. Either just run right up and do it, drop in on the enemy from above, or shockwave the enemy down and then do the stunt. This is a very easy stunt. You'll probably unlock it within 20 minutes of getting grenades for the first time, but if you haven't, an easier way to do it than just running up and throwing grenades is just the same trick from before as with insult to injury. And instead of shooting them, just let the grenade blow up. Most people unlock this stunt when they're doing the mission where you acquire this move. In the event that that doesn't happen for you, lure the enemy to an area where there's no overhang, shockwave them up, and go right into the attack. And that should get you stunned. It's a really easy stunt to do. You can get it by grinding along the train tracks that you see here. Or you can grind the wires that you see overhead. This is actually the same spot I used in the last video. To get to the spot, go out the front entrance of the prison, make a left, go through the tunnel, you'll get to this bridge that you see here, and just make another left, go up the building, and then work your way back along the wires. Alright, this is actually a really easy stunt. I'm using the gigawatt blades here, but you don't have to. You mainly just gotta run up and kill 5 enemies within 30 seconds using only melee attacks. You can't use anything else except for the gigawatt blades if you have them. And if you don't, you know, there are plenty of spots where you can get this stunt. The crawlers I showed you earlier with the crowd control, that's a great spot. This spot here is from the More Help with Stunts video. Alright, this stunt really isn't too hard. It's just finding a conduit after the game's over. For that, you want to go to this park and Neon District. And so then go to this bridge. There will always be a conduit under here. There will always be one that spawns here. And just to be sure, I mainly just attack them with nothing but thunder drops. That's what I'm fast forwarding now. And eventually you'll beat this guy and you'll get the stunt. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video helped you out.